so good to be back here at the Dexter Lake Club. We'd like to do for you now a tune entitled Shamalama Ding Dong. So hit it.
Oi.
Woo!
Shamalama Ding Dong. That's a song I play every time I come back from Dr. T's primary care for men and women.
If I search
Hoy nomás.
this whole wide world,
Oy, baby.
I love this song.
Te doy todo el cheque.
find me a girl
Al rato te pongo casa también.
who love me
Later.
Ya la estoy pagando.
the way that you do.
DrT'sPrimaryCare.com. Make sure to go out there and get your New Year's resolution on high power, baby. Get some testosterone. Look at that. Entras ahí, te chequean el peso y todo. Turn fat into energy full of antioxidants, reduce appetite, build muscle. Amino blend, boost pre-workout pump. No me cállate la boca, shut up. Sales bien pompeado.
Bien filoso.
Filoso, de. Y llegas a la casa, ir a fatigue, decrease sex drive. Eso se jale, se te quita de volar. Shake hands with the doc. Sales, mira, listo para aventar chingada. Vámonos, recio. Y llegas a la casa, babe, put on Shamalama Ding Dong. That is why. I like this part. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It's Wednesday night, man, and we've got Rev Ray from El Paso, Texas here. Rev, this is Chuco Town music right here, bro, right? Ain't that right?
Yes, sir.
You ought to try doing something with this too, man. The only reason I remembered this song, because it's from the movie Animal House.
Yeah.
Right? It's Otis Day and the Nights. And you remember the song, You Know You Make Me Wanna Shout? It's the same guys.
Hands up, man.
Yeah.
you
Big
know.
song, man. So this was like the other song that, didn't make it as popular as Shout. And my wife, I don't know, she called me a ding-dong. I was walking into the living room.
Ding dong.
And she goes, "You're such a ding-dong." Because I'm always being a clown, dude. It's like
Always.
the class clown never got out of me, man. You know what I'm
Never.
saying? So, and then, with my wife, she comes home from work and she's stressed. Llegan enojadas, carnal, en veces, carnal.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
So de volada comienzo mi comedy, carnal, ¿entiendes?
Para que sonríen.
Sí, para que sonríe. Get a little smile out of her, bro.
Yeah, for
Y se le
sure.
olvida todo el pinche desmadre el día, carnal.
Están
¿Entiendes?
sonriendo todo el día en trabajo.
Hey.
Pero llegan a la casa están enojadas.
That's why they say laughter is the best medicine.
Just kidding, babe.
Déjame decir that. I'm sure you've got your stash of jokes too, bro, right?
I got the dad jokes, pero ya no se ríen. No.
So she was watching one of her Netflix. She's been getting into this show called Bridgerton. Bridgerton. I burn for you.
Oh, it's one of those British shows or what?
Yes.
So
really
It's
good.
sultry.
Yes.
So
sultry.
one of the characters is a girl, and she ends up becoming a duchess, right? And I said, pues chinga, el pinche Dutch nunca le llegó. Le dije, oh, mi ruca. Because he never wanted to do anything with her because he had made a promise not to have a child because his dad was an asshole with him and shit like that, right? So then he says, le digo, oye, pues nunca le entró el Dutch a la Duchess. It's Duke, you ding-dong.
El Dutch.
The Dutch. I'm like, what?
Dutch are actually like from Switzerland or some shit? The Dutch people?
Denmark way.
Denmark.
Yeah. And I don't know why when you go have dinner with different people, they go, are we going to go Dutch? What the fuck is that?
the fuck is
That means
Dutch?
everybody pays their own shit. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I guess that's what they do in Denmark. I don't know.
I guess that's the equivalent of being from Monterrey. Oye, si eres de Monterrey, eres codo. You know what I mean? So, hey, we're going to go Monterrey. Everybody pays for their own shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
P.S.
yeah.
Dutch people are from the Netherlands.
bueno. Well, Denmark is Netherlands.
Is
See?
No.
Para que sepas, I'm not just a dumb ding-dong. I know stuff.
Rock, you're just trying to sound smart at this point.
No.
So anyway, she says, so I'm walking away because I went to the bathroom, right? And I was coming back, and that's what I told her. Chinga, nunca le llegó el Dutch a la Duchess. ¿Qué pinche onda? Quiero ver algo. ¿Entiendes? And my wife goes, it's Duke, you ding-dong. And so I went, shamalama, shamalama, ding-dong. And she goes, that's not a song. Shut up. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
She was Wow.
And now it's her favorite.
That is my favorite now.
Yeah. Oh no, every night, Daddy.
Shut up.
Ding dong.
Yeah.
Oh my
No, so
goodness
she got all the, and she got me hooked up. I'm gonna watch what she's watching, right? I mean, I'm not gonna tell porque yo soy pura pinche noticias y pinche. I'm a YouTube guy. She's a Netflix. And it's like sometimes I'll catch on to a series and I'll nonstop watch it, man. Pinche binge. The first series I ever binged on was Breaking Bad, right?
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
I couldn't stop seeing that thing, bro. I'd never done that on Netflix. I had Netflix. I'd never nunca le pelaba, güey. And so all of a sudden I started watching that back about, what was it, babe? 2018? Something like that?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
A whole week, dude. No me quería dormir, bro. It was like 4 a.m. Se acababa el y comenzaba. Next one starting. Venga, just a
I
little
don't
bit.
blame you. Está con madre ese show.
But time no son las 5 de la mañana, carnal. Chingao.
A trabajar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I was like, she starts getting into that, and I really don't do that. So she got on this Bridgerton show, and she just couldn't stop watching. And another one was Georgina, ¿verdad, babe? Georgina es.
Oh, yes.
Esa es la esposa del vato, el soccer. Cristiano, ¿o qué?
Yeah.
¿Cómo?
Cristiano
Al-Nassr?
Ronaldo.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oye,
Yeah.
carnalito, ese vato es un pinche, he's a
He's a
machine.
specimen.
He's a perfectionist. That guy doesn't stop working out.
Wow.
He gets there first than anybody, and then he leaves last.
Sí.
He is passionate about working out.
Ese vato,
Being the best in the world.
They're like at a beach in Dubai or something. I don't know what the hell.
They're at
bro.
the Red Sea.
Shit where we'll never get to go, right?
Right. we just fantasize by watching
Yeah.
these,
There you
these
go.
shows.
Yeah.
I'm on the all the Love Is Blind and the Ultimatums, bro. I mean,
What's that? Is that on Netflix too?
oh yes, it's on
Oh.
Netflix. And at first, my wife was the one who got me on them. I was all right. I guess I'll watch them with you some quality time.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, hey, babe, are we gonna watch Ultimatum? Are we gonna watch Love Is Blind or
Simón.
Marriage at First Sight? And bro,
You, bro.
Oh,
get
we
caught
haven't
in.
seen those.
That's
We haven't
funny.
seen those.
pero it's a death trap.
Why?
Babe, I know you're watching.
Uh-oh.
What's gonna happen? She's gonna ask you questions like, "Do you think like that?"
Hey.
Okay.
I totally-
Oh my
I
goodness,
totally
let's
relate
not
to
watch
that. I
Or
totally
she'll turn to you and say, "Are you all mine?"
I totally relate to that because me and my chick, she got me into watching 90 Day Fiance.
Oh my god!
90 Day Fiancé.
I have seen all the seasons now of 90. I'm all caught up, and not only all the seasons of 90 Day Fiance, but the little side shows that they make. Oh my
Oh my
90 Day
goodness.
Fiance Last Resort, 90 Day Fiance this. Oye, pero espérate.
no.
All the offspring.
Pero le gustan, right?
I'm all over the cheese, man. I'm like, wait, baby, you know, babe, pinche vato hizo cheese. No, I would never do that. It's because, like, these guys are fucked up.
Yeah, bro.
And I tell her, I would never do that to you, baby. Fuck them. Fuck those
Y
guys.
luego, tell me you don't get ahead of her watching the show without her, and then you get the baby watch it without me.
How dare you?
And you know what it is?
Yeah.
I don't mind watching it all over with you.
Sí,
I tell her,
no
I
fácil.
will rewatch anything. But then she has a
En
question.
romantic el vato.
Yeah, bro. I'm a romantic
Tienes que,
man.
carnal, tienes
The
que.
questions come. So what happened here? Just watch it. You can't watch nothing.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to do like a 90-day fiance here in the 956, bro.
They are?
Yeah, but it's called 20-year fiance. Nunca se casan, bro.
Están viviendo con la mami. La
Puro pinche
chingada.
camarón, güey.
Oye, they're waiting for the parents to die para quedarse con la house.
Se va, carnal.
I have primos like that. I'm sorry. I have primos like that.
Baby, when my parents go, we're getting married.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going to get your house.
We're going to
That's
inherit this
terrible.
house.
Yeah.
That is
We'll honeymoon at La
crazy.
Pulga de Álamo. It's going to be fantastic.
Ay, ay,
20-year
ay.
fiance.
90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. So we've also got, we're talking films and movie and videos and stuff like that. We got filmmaker Carmona here with us, man.
How you
Hi.
doing?
This is one of the coolest looking dudes I've met, bro. Look at him, man.
Hey,
The,
thank you.
the,
Thank
the
you.
beard's like on.
Perfect.
That says a lot considering all the cool people you had in here. man.
Dude, bro. Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from East Texas.
East Texas? So you're from the Houston area, Tyler over there or what?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a really small town called Dieball.
Dieball.
Very, very small.
And how did so you were born in Dieball or you were like,
Yes.
And how big is that town? Is it like West Laco La Feria or
It's like two stoplights
two stoplights?
kind of town.
Wow, man. And what's the closest big city? Houston?
Houston.
Okay.
Like a couple hours.
One time we went and played in Mount Pleasant too, man. But that was way up in the corner up there, man. Like close to the Arkansas and I think at Louisiana border, something like that.
No hay
State
mucho
line.
mexicano para allá, bro.
Yeah. So, ¿qué año naciste ahí, bro?
74.
74? Wow, man. ¿Y había mucho hispano para allá o no? Chingo de gringo.
Pues en ese momento no mucho.
No.
Yeah, but we're everywhere now.
Sí, no, pues sí. So, ¿y tus jefitos que jalaban ahí?
Dieball was a
Hablan en el
sawmill.
micrófono.
Okay.
There you go.
Dieball was a sawmill town.
Ándale, okay.
So there was a sawmill there. My father worked there. My mother was a stay-at-home mom.
Órale.
And then when I was around 10, she remarried and we moved to Alice, Texas.
Oh, Alice, órale, aquí cerquitas.
See, the guy she married was in the radio station business.
Sí.
So this was back in like 81, maybe. That's when it was KOPY and KDS.
Órale. Wow, man. So, te viniste para Alice at 10. It was what, 70, 85, 84?
Yeah, man. The crazy thing is I was just there, a few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of the first interviews that Shelly had scheduled for me.
Órale.
She goes, hey, there's a small town called Alice, Texas. And I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute. I think I know that town.
Wow.
And I think they changed it to KOPY now, right?
So, ¿gradaste de ahí de Alice? Okay, you're a coyote, man?
No, hell no.
Is that Alice Coyotes, right? It's Alice Coyotes?
Yeah.
I don't
they're
know.
Coyotes.
Yeah. So, you didn't graduate from Alice?
No,
or-
no. I went back to Dieball when I was about 14.
Okay.
And then at 17, I quit school and I took off to California.
Órale.
I wrote a play when I was a senior in high school. So
What grade were you in when you dropped out, man?
I was a senior.
A senior? So, ya mero acababas?
That was like 3 months away.
What happened?
I wrote a play my senior year.
Okay.
And up until that point, I was just an athlete. So once I showcased that these other talents that I had as far as writing and creating, a lot of people were like, well, you should go to California. And I said, why? He said, that's where they make movies. So yo tenía una tía que vivía allí en San Jose. So I went to stay with her.
So, ahí en D-Ball, donde estabas viviendo, pues, tú eres como un outcast. Entonces, no, I mean, that's el único that was in the films and stuff. Everybody was used to, like, you're born, you start working at the sawmill, and then you just have kids and a family, and there's your life.
That's it.
And
there's nothing wrong with that.
And you had other plans, man. And what inspired you, man, to do stuff like that in a small town like that?
I think the thing that inspired me the most was that, number one, there wasn't anybody else doing it. Like in the theater program, there was just me and another Chicana named Yesenia. And our senior year, we tried out for the UIL play. And I told you I played sports, so I had never really had experienced racism. You know, because of sports, you know, you win and that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
But when I got into theater, Yesenia and I were the only Mexicanos in theater. We tried out for the UIL play, which was usually given to these other students.
Sí.
And when we tried out in front of our peers, and our peers were like, hey, man, you guys nailed it. You guys got the roles.
It's awesome.
And then we went outside to talk to the teacher, and the teacher, in so many words, was like, well, you know, we're really impressed with your performance, but this couple that you're portraying is from New England.
Oh, okay.
I said, okay.
Yeah.
And she said, well, they speak a certain way.
Yeah.
I said, uh-huh.
Okay.
I said, we have a dialect coach, so what's the problem? She said, well, they look a certain way. And I said, well, there's costumes. So Yesenia knew what was up. I think the first but that came out of the teacher's mouth, she like put her head down, right? She never acted again, which was unfortunate. But for me, it just like, I don't know, man. It inspired me.
She felt that it might have not been as realistic as they wanted to portray it to be. Because I know I have a problem when I watch a movie and they would use a white dude as an Indian, you know, and then just darken him up and shit like that. But the Westerns, I was like, dude, you know, use real Native Americans or use somebody that, a Hispanic, you know, somebody that looks, lowrider movies, the same thing, bro.
Well,
there were some lowrider movies where the guys don't have that lingo.
No, we still,
and I don't connect and I don't, you know.
We still actually have that problem now. So.
Yeah, I was talking about that in the last show with Valente Rodriguez. The Hispanic representation is actually not there. You know what I mean? And when they actually want to put like a Hispanic person. I'm sorry, but they put the people from India. What do they call them? Hindu people. They put them portraying Mexicans. Like, dude, come on, just give them a Mexican a try.
Or they'll
You
do
know what I
like
mean? We're good actors.
or
you
they'll
know
do
what I
like if it's Tejano Mexicans, they'll use California Mexicans.
Yeah.
As opposed to
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like I watched a movie called Boulevard Nights, and I played a
come on
clip
now.
with Valente here, right? And I was like,
Oh, that's right. That's
I
all right.
I love that movie because I can connect with the language of the lowriders, especially Big Happy, El Chuco, and all those guys. And then I see other, Blood In, Blood Out was a good movie, but I think as far as the lingo and the language, I think Boulevard Nights was better than Blood In, Blood Out, even though Blood In, Blood Out was like bigger than Boulevard Nights. I'm just into that like gritty, realistic movie, and
Authentic.
authentic.
there you go.
Yeah, authenticity is very important when you make a film, right?
Very, very.
Yeah. So then that happened, and it kind of gave you a bad taste. You thought, there's racism involved here. We're Hispanics. This is an English couple that they're talking about that's going to be, that's part of the movie. It's New England.
And as kids, we were like 17. We were just kids, man.
Yeah, I think at that point, it's like, hey, give it a shot.
Yeah, yeah.
You learn. You learn the craft.
And what I've learned through acting, especially now being a filmmaker, when you give other people that opportunity, it fills them with a sense of accomplishment and pride, and makes them want to pursue it even more.
Yeah. But it's interesting because actors are every actor's different, right? I mean, I always tell people like that are artists or musicians or performers, if you're like Selena, for example, she could sing and she could dance. And when she passed away, I had all kinds of people come up to me. I'm sure Shelly Lattes is here with us as well, ladies and gentlemen. She's in the background. She'll be on the show another day. But we were getting people like, my daughter can sing like Selena. My daughter can dance like well, can she sing and dance like Selena?
True.
Well, she just sings like Selena. Okay, well then, you might want to teach her. It's great to learn, and that's what a lot of big actors do. They learn different dialects. Like I freaked out when Beth from Yellowstone was English,
Right, right.
and then the James from Queen of the South
Oh,
spoke
yeah.
with an English accent.
Yep.
The other guy from Snowfall.
Christian Bale is another
Snowfall too.
Yeah.
guy. Yeah,
Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
yeah.
And the
He's
Also?
also British.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I trip out with that.
crazy.
And so how can they learn the accent to make it sound like they're real? I mean, I think an artist never stops growing, right?
No.
An actor never stops growing. You have to keep pushing the boundaries, right?
A true artist.
You learn martial arts. I'm gonna go to MMA and learn. I'm gonna go to boxing and learn. There might be a part in the movie
It's
where
called method acting. I love
that what it is?
method actors. Method actors are the ones that really, really get into it. Like if they're gonna have like a sword fight in one of the movies, they actually like go to classes to learn how to properly, manage a sword, because they're gonna be criticized when people watch these
course.
movies. People that actually know, it's like when you go play on stage. If you're doing something wrong, the guy that knows how to play guitar or bass, they're gonna see and they're gonna be like, look, this guy's fucking up. Same with the movie. So they have to make sure that everything is pristine and perfect. And one of those guys is like Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is one of the dudes that will go and in one of the scenes, like he was supposed to kill, I don't know how many, like 20, 30 guys in one of the scenes for his movie, John Wick, John Wick 3, I think. And there's this video that went viral of his training where he's actually like shooting all these targets and he shoots them within a minute or two, and he's like like chingon. And I was like, damn, like he's actually learning so he can look good on stage. I mean, on camera. This is method acting. And a guy that's crazy method actor is, believe it or not, Shia LaBeouf.
Oh yeah, he's great.
yeah.
That guy. And the movie Fury, when con Brad Pitt, that whole movie, he didn't shower. Because he said that those soldiers in the movie didn't shower for weeks. So why should he?
And I think he had a scar on his face too that he actually put on himself as well.
Yeah.
You're right. That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah, he was crazy method acting for that movie. And one that actually took his life is none other than Heath Ledger
Oh,
with
yeah.
the movie with
Joker.
Batman when he was the
Yeah.
Joker. He method acted so freaking bad. He was into pills and all this shit to kind of get into that mindset of the Joker, right? And he died of an overdose for taking
Yeah,
too
and one
many
of the
pills.
greatest performances.
Yeah.
Greatest,
Christian
yes,
Bale,
you're
too.
right.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, he got skinny for that role.
Oh, the
really.
Machinist.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
One of my favorite Christian Bale movies is when he's like a veteran.
Oh, Harsh Times.
Oh my God.
yeah.
That movie is like, that's what I call real, dude.
That guy, his accent is
He's great.
perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the same. That gentleman that made that movie is also the one that made the one with Shia LaBeouf, the tax collector.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's a great
that,
movie, too.
Yeah, and I could see they were going for that thing with Shia as well. But Christian Bale did great.
No, dude, he knocked it. And it's not one of those movies that made a big impact. It's
He
not.
produced
But
that.
it's those
I mean, I
movies
actually
that are
tripped
great.
on the movie and watched it, and I was like, holy shit, I couldn't stop. Because I could, like, I've hung out with people like that, dude.
¿Verdad?
You know, it's like I've hung out with dudes like that, crazy motherfuckers that party and not give a shit and go to Mexico. I'm de volar, carnal, que la chingada. So I was like, and then the guy that was lying to his wife, which was Eva Longoria, right? His buddy, he was getting him in all kinds of trouble. I had friends, I was getting my friends in trouble. They were getting me in trouble. You know, it's like, so, but the acting, and that's one of his first movies or what? Because he didn't make it till it was like,
Well, I think the first movie he did was when he was 12. He did Empire of the Sun.
all of that.
And he was handpicked by Steven Spielberg. So I think he started from there, and then he just did like these small roles.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you should check out Harsh Times from with Christian Bell.
For sure.
You probably have to look for it, right? Because it's not one of those.
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. But you've got something coming up, right? It's King of the South.
Yes, sir.
We've heard Queen of the South. Is this something similar but opposite? Or tell me a little bit about what you've got.
No, it's not. It's not anything like Queen of the South, just in name.
Okay.
But it's good marketing.
So what's the whole plot of the movie, King of the South?
King of the South, without like giving away too much, is it revolves around two brothers.
Okay.
It's two brothers. The tagline on the poster says, two brothers in search of the American dream that become part of an American nightmare. And it's loosely based on John F. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy.
Okay.
So those two brothers, one that's running for governor of Texas, and the other one that's pues como gobierno de la calle, más o menos.
See.
And it's showing like the parallel of both worlds, how they're somewhat really similar.
Now, how did you come up with this idea for the movie? For the is it a series or is it a movie?
It's a series.
Okay, so you'll be having episodes and stuff like that, or what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got the idea from my abuela, actually. We were watching TV and we were talking politics, and she said, you know, that what we need right now is like two brothers. Like, imagínate si eran mexicano, chicano, indígena, you know, in a high political position.
Sí.
You know? Because it seems to me that the only time, and this is just my opinion, that the only time that we're kind of given that platform as far as like with movies and, you know, unlimited budgets is usually when we're in a negative light. Either we're narcos or sicarios or things like that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to present something different, you know, something a bit more uplifting.
And in reality, it's like it's what it is today. I mean, there's a lot of Hispanics in office as well.
Yes,
so,
yes.
So then you decided to put
Yeah.
it together.
Yeah, she when she gave me that idea, I had just done a film called Lava Platos, which actually was just selected at the South Texas International Film Festival this past year. So in that movie, I have a character that's referred to as the King of the South. And that's kind of like the origin of this character. And then from there, when my grandmother told me that, you know, I started thinking about it more, and I said, you know what, that's a good idea.
Where is this? I'd love to watch it, dude.
We're actually still in production.
Okay.
We've been shooting now for maybe 6 months, maybe.
Is it difficult putting it together? You know, getting the actors together, deciding who to cast. I mean, there's so many things that go into building this. You know, people don't understand. You know, you have to lighting, gaffer boys.
Costumes.
Yeah, costume like that Bridgerton. I told my wife, man, this series must cost quite a bit.
Oh yeah, that one did. I think they had something about the wigs and how expensive the wigs
Yeah.
are.
Yep.
I mean, the costume. Yellowstone. I mean, look at the size of the magnitude of that show, right? So a lot of people don't understand that. You see the credits at the end, and now you realize why they're so expensive to make. What kind of budget did you have on this one, man?
I didn't have one.
Which is typical, right? With a lot of filmmakers trying to make new movies nowadays.
Yeah, I think the first scene that I shot, I was set up in the morning, ready to shoot. We were going to do like this sunrise scene. I had an actor coming in from Dallas who was going to ride in on his motorcycle for the opening like scene. He called me about 30 minutes before we were shooting. He said, I'm not going to be able to make it.
Oh,
man.
my gosh.
Classic.
Yeah.
But we had driven to this like remote area, Highway 21 in Crockett, Texas. It's like one of the top 10 most beautiful drives. And
I gotta write that down, babe. I like riding my Harley out there.
dude, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So that's what I wanted to showcase was the road, you know, because as far as the eye could see, it would have these curves and disappear and then appear again. So like for me, it was a metaphor of life.
Yeah.
You know, and I think once you do life long enough, you don't really look up to see where you're going anymore because it's just like one step in front of the other.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll get there.
Plus, it captivates the viewer. You know?
Exactly.
You want to see where the road goes,
So-
and if it's beautiful, even better. Right?
So he called and canceled, and I was like, well, man, I got to shoot something. So I just set the camera up and push record, and I said, well, why do I need a motorcycle? It's because I wanted to showcase the road, and I go, well, how else can I showcase this road?
Carnal, te hubieras puesto una bandana tú, carnal, una leather jacket, te pones un pinche biker, carnal.
Well, I don't have a bike, though.
Yeah, man, you would have worked. I mean, you
So-
could have been the star of your own film, bro.
Well, I am.
Órale.
And so what I did is I walked.
Uh-huh.
And I figured, you know what? I grew up watching The Incredible Hulk. I grew up watching Kung Fu, Highway to Heaven. And what those characters had, Bill Bixby was always walking.
Yeah.
You know, Kung
Carradine,
Fu
yeah.
was always walking.
Yeah.
So there's something about the hitchhiker. Like, where's he coming from? Where's he going?
What's his backstory?
Yeah. Who is he? You know, that kind of thing. So the first frames I just shot like, well, I'm just going to walk. And I made the character walk home. And so that was like my first shoot. And then the next shoot, I had Little Joe from Little Joe y La Familia.
Órale.
And
What is his part in the movie?
he plays our father.
Okay. How did he do with his acting? Did he do okay?
Oh, he did great.
Did he nail it?
He nailed it.
Wow.
He nailed it, man.
What a talented guy, man. That guy is.
Talented and humble and supportive.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Positive.
Extremely positive.
Chingos de positivity con Little Joe, cara.
And I didn't expect like to make friends with him, but like, you know, we send memes to each
It's
other.
automatic with him, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
you meet him and he likes you, you're going to be friends.
If he likes you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he likes
And he's a good judge of character as well because he's met so many people in his life.
you. I think that's what probably kept me going more than anything is that, you know, he would tell me, no, I believe in you, Carmona. I believe in what you're doing. Like, you have my support. And I thought about that too. I'm like, man, this is a guy who has experience with life and people in general.
Me dan ganas de llorar, dije, no ese jale, carnal.
And then he's like, you know, one of the scenes that we did, we had practiced, you know, we'd rehearsed, and I said, look, man, we're going to go off page here for a minute, and we're just going to do some improv. And I think I asked him in the improv, are you proud of me? Right? And the things he said to me
And this
were-
is on camera part of the film. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's on film. And, you know, the things he said to me were things that I had never heard another man say to me, you know. So that was really interesting. And one of the things he said was that you're going to be able to go to places that I can't and do the things that I can't do, you know, and I give this responsibility to you.
Wow.
And it was like this passing of a torch. I felt, you know, when on the drive home, I wondered if I had like constructed that entire episode just so I could hear a man say those things to me.
Yeah.
You know, because it filled a lot of holes
It was magic.
that I didn't know I had actually.
Yeah.
You know, as I grew up without a father, so I was always of the opinion, like, I don't need to hear those things, from another man. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But turns out I did
You
need
did.
I did need to hear them.
And you were in character as well, so I mean, you felt it a lot more.
Yes,
in the film.
It was like a really quiet drive home.
Well, I want to thank you, bro, for putting Little Joe in the movie, dude.
Oh no, the reason I did is because I saw him in a movie, and it just I reached out to him on Messenger, and I said, hey man, I'm writing a story. La verdad, señor, solamente te quiero dar tus flores. That's it. I would hate that the last thing you do is the piece of work that he had done. As far as like his memory, as far as like what we're going to remember, his legacy. So I said, yo tengo, una historia, una rola que te quiero tirar. I think that you'd be perfect for it. I didn't get a response. And then 2 weeks later, through Brandy Lopez out of San Antonio, she set up a meeting, and I was sitting across from him, and I pitched him this story. And, he said, what's that got to do with me? And I said, well, I want you to play the father. And he says, I'll do it. And so I was with the producer, and I said, how much? And he's like, hey, man, you don't ask him that. Like, you wait, I go, pues aquí está el señor, ¿cómo no le voy a preguntar?
Yeah.
And he said, no, pues el rollo que me tiraste ahorita, lo hago gratis. And on top of that, he brought me like his whole collection of CDs. And he said, hey, whatever you want to use, go ahead. So once I had that blessing, that's really the thing that kept me going, because then you start to build this thing, and then it's like the movie. You build it and they will come.
Yeah.
And then Shelly reached out to me. And then from there, it's just been it's just gotten bigger and bigger. Sunday, we filmed with Ram Herrera.
Okay.
Yeah, he reached out to me on a Saturday. We were shooting on a Saturday at a car show. And one of the guys I was with said, hey, man, Ram wants to be in your scene tomorrow. And I said, pues, Ram who? Like, he goes, Ram Herrera. I said, yeah, sure. Thinking like, no way.
Yeah.
Right? And so Sunday we're setting up to shoot, and here he walks in.
Yeah.
And it was overwhelming.
Well, that's great.
Somewhat, because then you start to see that you're on track, especially when you start working with the likes of people like Little Joe, Shelly Lares, and that gentleman.
I'm ready to watch it.
Oh yeah.
When's it coming out? What's the date?
The first episode will be released June the 9th.
And how will it be released?
Well, we're talking to a couple of people, and I can't say too much about that right now, but there's a couple of streaming services.
Okay.
Netflix is not one of them.
No, it's really hard to get on there, right? I mean, I've heard the stories. I had a documentarian here that created a documentary about the collapse of the Queen Isabella Causeway here on South Padre Island.
Oh, that's right.
It collapsed, and people just, so he did a whole documentary, and I asked him about, putting it on Netflix. He goes, bro, man, you got to really jump through some hoops for that. It's really tough.
And a lot of times too, they'll hold your work for a long time, so that you can't show it to other people. And then after a year, they might decide, well, we're not going to show it.
Have you shown any of it in a film festival? Or, there's like film festivals around here, Cine El Sol and all that.
No, not King of the South.
Are you going to be a part of those film festivals once you got it done?
Of course. Course.
So then, when are we looking? How can we find out when it's out so we can subscribe right away?
You can follow. We have an Instagram page called King of the South _series.
Okay.
And then you can follow me on Instagram as well at Carmona Gemini, and that's where we keep all the updates and stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think I can't wait to see it, man. Especially if there's people I know, and a Little Joe, dude. I mean, I got to see him on film.
You ever been in a movie?
Have I ever been in a movie, babe? I did some parts in some movies, but they never fucking panned out, dude. You know what I mean? So,
but they were both in Karin Leon's newest music videos.
Yeah,
so.
Karin Leon, he released with a guy from Sin Banderas. Me and Jax were on it. As a matter of fact, last night I interviewed one-on-one the other actor that's on there, Ray Francois. So he's a black dude from Louisiana.
Yeah. He comes
Yeah.
out in several videos.
He's like at the very beginning of it, and he's also
That's
doing,
not his first. That's not his first video. He's in several videos.
no, and he's working on films too and stuff. And you know, he was telling me last night about, you know, you expect something and then it falls through, so you have to like kind of adjust and improvise and figure it out to keep the movie rolling.
Yeah.
And then he talked about investors as well. Do you have any investors in the movie that are willing to help you out? And you know,
2025 it blew wide open.
Awesome, bro.
You know, like all the hard work that you put in, you know, days, nights.
Could you use more investors?
Yes.
Well, what does our audience have to do in order? Maybe somebody's watching that would like to invest in your product. Who do they contact? What do they got to do?
They would contact the Instagram page.
Okay.
We're kind of using that as our website for now and everything.
Do you have some sort of GoFundMe as well? I mean, I know there was like back in the early, 2012, they were doing crowdfunding for bands would do crowdfunding and they would like raise money to record an album and people, their fans and friends and family would pitch in and stuff like that. Lucky Joe just did a GoFundMe for a van. He got like 30 grand out of it, you know? So if you have people like what you said right now, I want to invest, you know, I want to pitch in. You know, it'd be nice to get a crowdfund, man, for you.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's happened. We've had a sponsor as well called Medusa Gardens out of San Antonio, and they sponsored a shoot, let us shoot at their location, which they had a bunch of cars, a bunch of lowriders, motorcycles, and then those guys come and say, well, hey, if there's anything I can do, if you want to use my car, motorcycle, whatever. And a lot of times the budget would go towards things like that, but it gives us the opportunity for the budget to go towards the technical, because you can shoot all day, but if you don't have an editor, then, you know, and that's really where we're more concentrated.
The better
on.
the editor, the more money it's costing, right? Or,
Yeah. Because ultimately, that's who makes your film. Well, you know that you're an editor.
Do you micromanage the editing and all that stuff? I mean, because I know when I let somebody else edit my shit and I look at it, you know, it's rare that I'll say, "Oh man, that's good." You know, hey man, I need. I don't know about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you that? Are you like that? Are you very picky about stuff?
I'm not too much, because I'm pretty clear on what I want, and I write, you know, pretty much exactly the way I want it.
Okay.
And if I do see something, I let them know. But I do tend to work with a lot of people, you know, who are experienced in their artistry too. So, you know, I'm interested in like, well, what do you see? You know, what do you hear? What do you feel? So that's always fun, because it's a collaborative process, and we just talked about that when we got here. You know, nowadays, if like Rev is in it as well, and he has a following with his music. So everyone that follows his music now will follow the film, which will follow, you know, other actors.
See?
And I mean, that's the way it works.
Just with having Little Joe también and Ram and these names you're dropping, you know,
dude,
I mean,
like Ram was
I want
just
to find out what it looks like, you know?
Ram, that was just like totally, and even when we did it, like I still really wasn't aware, because he said, I don't really want any words right now. Like I just want to sit here. So in the scene, you know, I do a lot of the talking and he just sits there. So, but what it does, it opens the door too. Like, who is that? You know, so now he ties into the story.
See,
you know, so it's hard to find a point where you stop, because you're constantly creating. And when you're creating in this manner, it's organic, and things like that just happen.
Yeah.
But you also have to be, you know, aware that you can turn that, your minuses into pluses. And so I'm like, yes, of course. So just him sitting there while we were shooting, I was thinking of how to bring him in. You know, like, how did he get here? So I started doing his backstory.
Your mind starts working right away, trying to figure it out. Yeah, that's
constantly.
Do you sleep well at night or no?
A little bit.
That means no. That means no.
We don't sleep, dude. I mean, we wake up.
You're a creator too, so you know.
I mean, I get up to take a piss. Forget about it. It's 3 o'clock, and I hate having to get up when my alarm goes off at 4:30, and it's 4:15. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I hate that.
Chingados. I hate that stuff.
I hate that.
But man, I'm really excited about what you're doing, man. That's really awesome, dude.
Thank you very much.
And you're doing what you love, and you take a lot of pride in what you do. So,
and you know that the funding, it finally started to come in once they start to see the. You know, I always talk about, like, I've seen your work, but I need to see how you work. I think once the people started to see how we were working and what we were doing, the support just started coming, and then, funds and things like that. So that's all taking off, and it's all based on our hard work that we've done.
Yeah.
And when you're passionate about something,
Sí.
lo vas a hacer.
How long have you been working on this project?
I wrote it maybe 3 years ago, and I've been working on it now for the past year and a half.
Yeah. It takes a while to get everything together, man.
And you can cut corners, but you'll be able to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm just not willing to do that. I'm not in any hurry.
What are the last couple of movies that you've seen that have really impressed you?
Oh man, we were talking about Shia LaBeouf earlier. Peanut Butter Falcon.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Is that on Netflix or is it on
I think it's
Amazon
on
or what? Yeah. And what's that about?
Peanut Butter Falcon's about it's a young man who's I don't know what the proper term is. He has Down syndrome. He has Down syndrome. But he doesn't have a family, so he lives in a nursing home. So he's constantly surrounded by these old people.
Yeah.
And he has a whole of a old VHS tape of a wrestler who will teach you how to wrestle if you go to his school or whatever. Yeah. And he escapes to go wrestling, and he runs into this guy who's on the run, which is played by Shia LaBeouf. And
I gotta see that.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like, get your tissues.
Oh man,
I want to watch it while eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You mean I have to take a double shot of testosterone before I see it?
Yeah.
So I won't cry. But it's pretty crazy. One of the movies I saw was Sean Penn, where he was also and there was a lot of Beatles music in it. I forgot the name of it.
I Am
but
Sam.
I Am Sam, dude. That was a pretty interesting movie as well. But man, I got to check that out. So that's the last movie that you think that really had an effect on you?
Yeah, and when I'm creating, I tend really not to try to watch anything because it kind of seeps in.
Yeah. You have to lock yourself away from all that other stuff.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Do you feel more of a that like your creative process is best at night, like around 2 to 4 a.m. in the morning, maybe? Do you feel that?
Yes.
Do you ever feel that like at night you can? It's like in the perfect quiet.
Cuando pega el gummy bruto.
It's the perfect amount of quiet. You're the perfect amount of.
I wouldn't know anything about that. My parole officer, they're just kidding.
Yeah, no, bro. I mean, everybody. I mean, I think that.
No, unfortunately, yes. I think it's because at that time, just the energy that's being dispersed by the world isn't as much as during the day.
It's different, right?
Es como te dan
solitude almost, right?
Te da más inspiración also, right?
It's like me when I'm riding my Harley out on a country road. It's just me in the road.
You're right, Rock.
And my mind is just boom, boom, working on listening songs and thinking, man, that might work, and I might be able. That's all I do, man, when I'm riding my Harley.
You feel more connected to nature, to the universe,
yeah,
to the world.
Yeah, y con el gummy pegando toda madre. No se te pasa ningún element de la rola, carnal. And then I get home, hey, babe, check out this song. Did you hear that? How do you hear that? I'm like,
it was the gummy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so how did you find out about Rev Ray? You're from the East Texas. This guy's from way West Texas, El Paso. How in the heck did you guys connect? Through social media? Okay.
How did we connect?
So, I was working with Anthony Lares, Shelly's cousin.
Okay.
And he had met JJ.
Where were we all working at?
We were actually just doing music.
Okay. All right.
And he had met JJ Fernandez from TJF Talent. Shout out.
For real.
And he said, hey, I met him and I told him about you. You should hit him up. And on the spur of a whim, I just shot him a message on Instagram, and we started talking, and we hit it off, bro. Like literally, he called me, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in what you guys are doing. I've never done any acting, whatever. And he's like, hey, you know what? You should talk to the director. You know what I mean? His name's Scott Bona. And I was like, all right. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he gave me his number. We talked, bro. I was working and literally took like an hour break to talk to Carmona about Aslan. And we went down the rabbit hole of Mesoamerica, bro. Like the whole, the cultura. And we just hit a vibe. And we had scheduled a breakfast. So we went to breakfast at Sabor de Mexico.
They're in El Paso or what?
No, in San
San
Antonio.
Antonio.
I live in San Antonio.
You live in San
15
Antonio?
Yeah, 15 years.
Oh, yo creía que lo ibas a llevar a comer flautas allá en el... ¿Cómo se llama el flauta place over there?
Oh, Chicos Tacos.
Chicos Tacos, puras pinches flautas ahí, ¿no?
Tan chingona,
¿O
bro.
cómo se llama el otro? LNG or LNG?
LNG.
Ahí en Seattle Cemetery, carnal.
That's porque está bien buena ahí.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
La muerte sabe buena, bro.
Órale, so estás en San Antonio. And where did you go eat in San Antonio?
Sabor de Mexico. Right
Chinga,
there.
babe, write that down, babe.
Yes,
Vamos a
sir.
It's
San
really
Antonio.
good. It's
Órale.
really, really good.
Café
Good
de olla.
café de olla.
Es todo, carnal.
So we were sitting there and, I met him and actually it was my wife's anniversary. Me and my wife's anniversary. And she's a great wife. And she said, hey, you know what? Let's...
¿A poco no va a decir eso?
No.
He better. He better.
I'm on national TV.
Hey, did
Shout
you
out.
notice? He said her anniversary.
Yeah.
No,
I was wondering what that meant.
I know, right?
I was like, her anniversary? I
it was
wonder.
our anniversary. It was our anniversary. And we were supposed to go to Bernie or we were going to go
Oh,
out
está
of town.
bruto pa allá, yeah.
And she was like, you know what? You really want to meet this guy? Let's go. I was like, yeah, well, cool. We'll do whatever you want afterward. But we went and we started talking and we just kept going. We started talking about life and we actually had an intimate conversation where estábamos llorando. Like we started talking about, our past, our life,
Her fathers.
our fathers, our absent fathers, not necessarily either one's fault, but their wounds. And giving them flowers because regardless, we give them respect no matter what.
Sí.
Everyone has problems, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I told him, I don't want to be a part of your film, bro. I just want to be your friend. That's what I'm here for. I'm all about being friends first, And that's how we hit it off, man. Next thing you know, he's like, hey, I got a part for you. And yeah.
And what's your part in the film?
My name's Primo.
Okay.
Yeah.
¿Y eres un sidekick o eres what are you a bad dude, a good dude? What are you?
Soy el primo de los carnales.
Okay.
Yeah.
¿Y los carnales are bad dudes or good dudes?
Well,
Both.
bad isn't good and good isn't bad. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Órale. Well, it's interesting because we're talking about how a lot of us end up, kind of like liking the bad dude. It's like Narcos Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Quique Camarena's a good dude.
Right.
And Miguel Ángel is the bad dude.
Right.
But we hated the good dude.
Right.
And we were rooting for the bad guy.
Right.
Like, don't catch him.
You
Where
know?
is he? Let him get away. Yeah.
Yeah, Scarface, Everybody wanted to be the dude. Yeah. I mean, there's something about the Hispanic culture that, we
El
tend...
malandro.
What is that, Carmona? Why is it that that happens with us? We tend to, relate more
Idolize.
Idolize
There you
the
go.
bad... Is it because they... do they humanize them in the film so much that...
Yeah, that's what they do. They do humanize them. Mayans. It was a good show. To humanize criminals or a bad element of people, to try to make you feel for, I'm like, no, this is a murder. Like I'm not gonna feel.
Yeah.
I'm not. But that has to do with music as well. They cue the music and try to write things that people can identify with. I think people, and this is my opinion, that they identify with that because they kind of vicariously live through those.
Yeah.
They really want to,
That's what I was...
We get to live like them without going through
Yeah.
jail or death and shit. Right?
Ándale.
Would you agree that also fantasizing about their lives that they live, for example, all those kids in Mexico, they have no way out. It's either school and if you're lucky you'll get a job, or you do the bad thing and in hopes of living the life of a narco with the cars, the girls, the houses. I think that has a lot to do with idolizing that type of lifestyle because you have no way out. You have
Well,
no
it's
other
like
way.
the rap game, when you see the rappers with all the big homes and all the freaking cars and all that shit, living lavish. everybody wants to be that, you know, and that's being very materialistic to a point, but that's just the way it is. But I do notice that I tend to, you know, go on the side of the bad dude. You know, we like bad dudes.
And you know, like one of the best parts for me of Scarface was that, you know, like you said, that might be the only way you can get out. And at the core, like he was trying to help his mother.
Yeah.
You know, and give her. Remember the scene where he tries to give her the money?
And she throws it in his face.
Yeah,
And he
Because
kills his
dinero
best
sucio.
friend because he was with his sister, you know, so he's a family guy.
yeah. Just the interaction between him and his mother was interesting.
Or obsessed.
Because, yeah,
También.
yeah, because she was willing to keep working whatever she was doing to get by, and like she said, I don't want your money. It's dirty money. And I think for me that part was very interesting because it said a lot about his character.
And also how she could see through his bullshit right
Oh,
away.
yeah.
Right away. She knew that he was bullshitting her. That wasn't money from investors or what was he saying he was doing? He was saying something about
I don't even remember.
he was taking some
Well, she was the only one that was honest enough to tell him what he really is.
Exactly.
Right.
yeah.
And nobody else had the balls to do that, you know.
And when you talk about film like that, well, if a certain agenda is pushed, if we don't see anything different, then we're not going to want anything different. And for me, King of the South is pushing a different agenda, you know, where we maybe necessarily don't have to do those things to have a successful film.
Is Hollywood going to, you know, kind of maybe collapse a bit or not, man? I mean, because it seems like everything's moving to Texas,
No.
Louisiana. They're moving to Atlanta.
Well,
I mean,
you
they're
know-
doing movies in other parts of the country, and they're becoming their own little Hollywoods in this area, Austin, you know. And it seems like a lot of the big projects that Hollywood has been releasing, those big studios, I mean, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, you know, I mean, it was $400 million. It made 30 million or something like
Oh,
that.
my.
I mean, it's a huge loss. And it's not the only movie that's happening to.
No.
Because the theater experience is kind of dwindling.
Because it's based off a series now. It's based off of streaming.
You know, we've gone back to the very beginning. You know, like streaming series, like that's not anything new. You know, that's One Day at a Time. That's MASH. That's
Roots.
Facts of Life. That's Roots.
Roots back in the 70s.
It's funny you say that because that's actually where I based King of the South off that template of Roots, where it was a TV show,
Alex Haley.
but it was like a movie as well. You know, you had some big time actors in it.
Yeah, because when I was in the 70s, when I was a kid, they'd have miniseries on TV, and you'd have like the Charles Manson story. It was like, and the dude they had as Charles Manson, I thought looked just like him, bro. So you probably find it if you look for it on YouTube. The TV made for TV Charles Manson movie. I think it's called Helter Skelter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was called Helter Skelter.
And right now, Texas is there's a grip on Texas, especially like the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You have Taylor Sheridan,
Oh yeah,
who has
the 4-6 Ranch, man. That place could become a huge place for movies.
he's got that place sewed up, and then the other guy's Dallas Jenkins, who does The Chosen. So you have these two things going on in Texas, which actually, you know, it's either cowboys and Indians or, you know, the religious aspect. What it leaves in the middle is for people like me, independent filmmakers that are making something.
Do you think Taylor Sheridan had a big part in kind of like sort of hurting the DEI and, you know, the wokeness of Hollywood, you know, because the Yellowstone series was pretty much conservative. It
was very bonanza.
Yeah, it was very bonanza. Old school.
Bonanza.
It's a white family. They own all this land, and people Kevin Costner, my wife, she loves the guy. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
she
I
loved
do.
every character.
Robin Hood.
Rip became a huge.
And you know, it's interesting because that's kind of like the reflection of Hollywood right now, because when the show started, it was Kevin Costner. That's who was driving the show. And then by the second or third season,
All the other characters started coming
Rip
to
and
play.
Beth.
Rip
and
took over
Beth.
the show.
Yeah, and then
That's-
Jamie.
That's his show.
Yeah.
Rip can have his own show
Yeah.
and people will watch. So that was interesting that a bankable star like Kevin Costner, they let him go because they're like, man, it's just you're not worth it.
Well, they didn't. I don't think they had a choice. He wanted to do his own film.
Well,
so and
I think a lot of that is made that way because it would be hard for someone to admit that I don't have that star power anymore. But if you look at The Irishman, Martin Scorsese movie, like
I love that movie, dude.
It didn't have a theater release,
and it was huge,
right? And Netflix said, "I'll pay for the movie to be made, but no theater release," and that's Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because that shift has already happened.
Yeah.
We're definitely in the middle of
But I was just like, a lot of the Hollywood movies that they were releasing were like, I mean, they're remaking old school movies and bringing in different ethnicities in them, like, why don't you just make a new movie, dude? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Make something new. It's like lazy shit.
Yeah.
All right, the we're gonna do the Little Mermaid, but she's gonna be black this time. Okay, just make a new movie, dude. And give that particular actress her own platform, her
own light.
Yeah, her own light. And then you've got Fast and the Furious 200. You know what I mean? and you've got all these. Dude, I'm tired.
There's chingos.
I want to see Fast and the Furious in La Pulga, bro. Right?
Fast and the Furious 956.
I never knocked on nobody.
Or 90 Day Fiance de La Pulga or 956.
Now you see why people like Bronco 956 are getting so popular. Honestly, and in these Marvel movies, okay, like the latest one, Kraven the Hunter, I mean, I am appealing to that one because it's like a Punisher type of comic book character where there's blood, or the Legends of the Dark Knight, which is Batman, because those first Batman movies from the past, they were too cartoonish for me. But when it became the Dark Knight, where there's people actually die here, there's blood, there's action, those are the ones. But then I saw the first two, and that was good enough for me. I mean, they keep making more because they bring in villains, right? But these Marvel movies are just like a continuation. It's like a comic book series, but they're not. The last ones didn't do too well.
No,
because people are fatiguing.
Yeah,
it's the same shit over and over and over.
And besides, the age demo that was going to see those movies have gotten older.
Yep.
And so that doesn't appeal to them anymore. You know what I mean? So you have to constantly be thinking out of the box if you're in Hollywood, and they haven't been doing that.
Well, and also, like, if you're doing independent film, a good way to do it is the people that you incorporate. There's a lot of the actors that are musicians as well. And we have everyone from the age of, I think, 9 to 85. And we just kind of try to cover. And as a director, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to cover as many things as I could. And because I have my episodes for Dallas, for the RGV, for Laredo, for Corpus Christi, so to capitalize, because if you incorporate all your Dallas actors, well, they're going to take care of the Dallas market for you. Houston's the same way. They'll take care of it for you, through social media and things like that. So it's being smart at the same time and creative, but also not, giving up too much of your creativity.
Yeah.
But, a good artist can, it can fix it.
Yeah. Y Rev, tú, música, bro. I mean, when did you start? How old were you when you started putting some music together?
So, I've been doing music for a long time. I'd say since I was, early in my 20 years, man.
Well, le pegaste al Lordy, huh? 40? You said you're 40?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't share it. Really, I'd have my guitar here and there, here and there, but I was involved in other things that weren't cool to show, you know what I mean?
Sí, como que.
Just things, things on the street de la calle.
Okay, andabas poreando nada. Gang-banging? You were
Oh,
gang-banging?
yeah, for sure, and all that good
Sí,
stuff,
ahí
man.
en El Paso, ¿o qué?
Yeah, for sure. Hanging out, drinking, drugging, the whole nine, you know what I mean?
Y de ahí tu wife te calmó los pedos, carnal.
Wow, I didn't know her then.
Ah, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When you met her, that's when se te cortaron los pedos. Y ahí te
Yeah,
guacho.
I'm 3.5 years sober.
Oh, that's great, man.
Awesome.
Awesome, bro.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Es todo, carnalito.
Hasta 3 years ago, right?
What was your drug of choice?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm an open book, bro.
Pues chinga, yo también, carnal.
Le echaba el polvo, bro.
Ah,
You know
sí?
what I mean?
Cocaine?
Yeah, for sure.
Sí, no,
Todo.
I had to go to a couple of rehabs myself, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's not an easy task, man. I commend you, bro.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a daily thing. It's a daily reprieve, one day at a time. That moment where you're thinking about doing something like that, that's when you gotta get it together. You know?
Yeah, man.
Because once you do it, we're done. We're gone.
I was hiding it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Double lives, bro.
When I got with my ruca, you know what I mean? And I was kind of like, let me, she found out, and she didn't give me no ultimatums or nothing, but she just basically said this wasn't what she wanted. And, I made a choice, man. And it was just to do it. And I gave myself up to the Lord, and that's where I'm at.
Did you do it on your own, or did you go through rehab? I had to go to a couple of rehabs.
I'll be honest with you. I did a binger.
Okay.
And on that binger, it was Sunday morning. I called somebody I didn't like. I called that guy that I didn't like, bro, of all people. And he answered the phone, and he was like, meet me here tomorrow. And I was like, all right. It was an AA.
Okay.
So I went to AA.
Okay.
And I was like, my problem isn't alcohol. It's this. But turns out my problem was alcohol, because without the alcohol, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the drugs are just a symptom.
To balance you out.
No, dude, look.
To keep on drinking. You know
The drugs are just a symptom of the real problem.
Right.
That's all it is, dude.
So
you have to figure out what the problem is. What are you hanging on to? What are you trying to prove? And then you figure it out, and then you say, you know what? I don't need this shit no more. You know what I mean?
that's what it was.
And you know what? Life becomes so much better and beautiful and productive.
It has been beautiful. It's been, don't get me wrong, I will always be an alcoholic. I'll always be in recovery, recovering alcoholic.
Me and you, bro.
Yeah. So, but I know that nobody wants to meet that guy. And I don't even want to be that guy no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I share it with everybody. A lot of people get kind of like, oh, he shouldn't be saying those things. Nah, man. I'm an open book. I share my testimony so that you know that, and I preach God that he can do it all. He does it all for you. That's where I'm at in life. You know what I mean? I give myself up to him. And
you don't understand how many people out there are struggling with bullshit like this, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's families that have their children that they can't do anything. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's at the end of the day, it's up to us, as a person, as a human, to decide, you know what, I've had enough of this shit.
Not just the human, the man in the household. You gotta be the one to shepherd your wife and your child to the right position in life. You know what I mean?
And you know what's crazy, bro? You said that it was the alcohol, and for a long time I blamed the cocaine.
Yeah. No.
And the alcohol had nothing to do with it. If I do alcohol, I'm fine. But if I do cocaine after the alcohol, then I'm in problems. So the thing is just drink and don't do the coke. Yeah. But it never panned out, because our plans never pan out the way they should.
It was the moment I smelled the alcohol or drank the alcohol, it went there.
Yeah.
Instantly. Or I was already thinking of going to get it.
That's it.
Because I was going to drink that I can continue to drink.
Yeah.
But at the end of the night, you end up buying more alcohol so that you can come down and go to bed.
The obsession to do it is the problem, is when we got to fix it.
That's where I was going to go, Rock. To me, when I had the problem also, because I also had a cocaine problem, it was more the excitement of getting it and having it and doing that first bump. But then after that, it all goes down. Downhill. It's just the excitement of doing that first bump. Below after that, it's not the same. You keep chasing that dragon. You keep chasing that feeling. You're like, I want to feel like that first bump. And it never feels like that. And you just
I gotta tie this into music. When I was doing music, doing all that, let me tell you something. I was in a band called Rev Ray and the Idle Hands, and in that time, I was doing it in the green room, and I'd come out and preach the word on stage.
Wow,
loaded. Yeah. And I used to tell people, like, oh man, drugs and alcohol make things better. You know what I mean? Like the music's more real. The moment I quit, the music got real.
And at that moment when you're doing that, you feel like you can't do that unless you're the way you are.
Right.
Because when I stopped, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get up on stage and make people laugh and sing And I kept telling my wife, I don't know, I've never done it without being high and drunk and shit like that. And then one day I was offered by Raymond Horta, to open, to host, right, baby?
Mm-hmm.
To host a comedy show. And I'm like, nah, bro, I don't know, bro. I got out of rehab a while back. And, hey, man, just host it, And I go, "Tá bueno, carnal." So I went and I got up there and I left the people in stitches. And I got down and I sat in because I was done with work. I introduced the comedians and I went and I sat next to my wife and I was drenched in sweat. And I looked at her and I told her, I did it. I was able to do it without being fucked up.
Amen, bro. Amen. And thank you for being vulnerable with that, man.
And you know what? It was a turning point. Because from there on, I said, okay, I can be productive. So I started, 4 years into my sobriety, I said, I'm going to start a band. That's what I've always loved to do, but I couldn't because I was all fucked up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it now.
Yep.
And my band's been around for 12 years. We've been all over Texas, right, babe?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Amen.
Yeah. And
Amen.
then I want to do comedy. Let's do comedy. I can do whatever the hell I want to do. I put my mind to it.
Hell yeah.
And I don't need drugs or alcohol to make me do it good.
Don't.
Right.
I want to say thank you for I didn't think I'd be talking about my sobriety here tonight. To be honest with you, I really don't bring that up. I do if they're asked, right? If I'm asked.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm on stage, I see that one guy that's out there that needs it, and I'll tell him, you know what I mean? I'll point directly at that man, and they take it in, and my music does talk about that. And I can tell you, when I said that the music got real after my sobriety, it did, because, man, everything just comes from the heart. You know what I mean? And not only that, all the pain I've put my wife through, my child through, my mother, my brothers, my family, my friends, everybody, even myself. I don't give myself flowers enough. Myself flowers. My story wasn't always the best. I used to ask God, as a kid, why me? Why was I raised like this? Why did I not have the father that I deserve? Why did not I have this? And why not that guy over there, who's got it all, and God basically is just saying this to me, because you're mine, and that guy over there, he's already his. And that was instant for me, man.
And that has an effect on a lot of people. Like, they dwell on the shit and they're like, pour me another drink, pour me another drink. No, it's not pour you. You have and I honestly think and I feel that God, because in our industry, there's a lot of that.
It's everywhere.
And some of them go down a spiral, downward. And then they land and they're in ashes and they rise, and I think that a lot of us artists go through it, not because our minds will work differently because we're constantly creating, but because I think God knows that once we fix ourselves, we can be a strong testimonial and show people that we're capable of doing what we did, and we're capable of getting out of that horrific addiction.
Absolutely.
I remember, because I do motivational speaking, and I went to a middle school, and I had the whole gym. It was just boys. It was a boys' conference, and I had them and the teachers, I made them laugh. I made them cry, And then I walked out. It's like 10 a.m. I said goodbye. They all hugged me. They were so happy. They loved what I did. And I walked out, and I just broke down and started crying, dude. And I looked up and I said, is that why you put me through that bullshit?
Yeah.
So I could do that?
Yep.
If that's why you did it, I accept it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so this was in Alton, Texas. This is in Mission, right? The following weekend, or 2 weeks later, I'm at a radio remote across the valley, man, like an hour and a half away from this little town. And some dude shows up with his girl, and he says, hey, Rock, ¿qué pasó, carnal? Vengo de Mission. I go, what? What are you doing way over here? He goes, I just came to tell you, man, and to thank you because you had an amazing impact on my son. Ever since you talked to them, he's changed and he's emulated you, and he's gotten so much better.
That's awesome, man.
And I was like, where was this, dude? And he goes, in Alton, and it was there when I got out and I started crying, dude. And so then that's when I realized, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do with the shit I went through.
I think that's when you realize that it's bigger than you.
Yeah, 100.
And then I thought to myself, I reached that kid. That kid's, emulating me, and he goes to school emulating me, and he reaches all his other buddies that want to be just like him because he's emulating me.
Yep.
And so you find that
You're breaking chains.
That one person that goes in there, and he comes out with the message, and then he goes and he hangs out with his people, and they all realize, hey, this guy's different. What did you do? And then they try to emulate him. So he reaches people through me, and I reach people through him. So we've all got a purpose in life.
We're all vessels.
No,
We're all vessels.
Yeah, dude.
And it's always on him on his time. You know what I mean? And what do we always say? Man, you're so slow.
and we gotta.
Man, you're never on time. Why not right now?
There was this
But
guy.
the truth is, it just makes sense when it does. When it happens, it's all worth the tears. It's all worth the glory.
Amen.
It's all worth the music. It's all worth the mentorship, the friendships, the podcasts right now, the tears, the vulnerability, the ability to still be breathing. You know what I mean? The ability to talk with my older friends now about what medication are you taking.
Oh, you're there, all right. Welcome to the club.
What's the dosage look like, homie? You know what I mean?
Yo te digo que son los side effects, carnal.
You have them all memorized.
My atorvastatin had me a little twisted, bro.
That's so true.
We start thinking, because I actually got sober at the age of 40. I mean, I'm
Aspirin
58.
pa'l corazón.
I'm 58 now, but I was 40 when just the same age you are. When I decided, you know what, I need to stop, and I had met my wife, and I ended up, I told her, can you stay at my house? I got to go to rehab. She was like, what? I got a problem, And she went and visited me every day, and
Every weekend.
And, so every weekend, every weekend, iba en mi troquita allá at Center Point, Texas, over there in the hill country.
Yeah.
By myself, driving all the way over there by myself.
And that's love right there.
Yeah, right.
I feel like we all have our the people that are sober. Yo estoy valley sober, carnal.
Yeah.
Yo estoy valley sober. What does that
Valley
mean?
sober.
Valley sober means que I don't do nothing but smoke weed. That's it.
California.
California.
The California program.
Bueno, yeah.
That's what they
Yeah,
call
right.
it.
Hey.
I call it valley sober. Las Palmas. Bueno, anyways.
Have you ever tried to just wean yourself off of that?
No, wait. I'm going somewhere with this, Rock.
Okay.
There's been times where I've been, I haven't drank alcohol. It's already going to be, since September, I was 3 years. So whatever months after September. I haven't drank alcohol or done cocaine or nothing in 3 years, right? 3 and some years. But there's been times where I've been when I've craved it and I'm like, fuck, you know what? Fuck it, today I'm going to break my sobriety. And I'm like, chingue su madre. I was like, but it's just, it's just a couple years. Chingue su madre. And then I start thinking about Rock. Because he's my mentor. I look up to him. And when he says that people emulate him, I've emulated him for a long time now when it comes to keeping my sobriety. And when I think about breaking my sobriety, me acuerdo de Rock and that story that he told you right now when he touched the kids, and not really touched the kids, but he reached the kids. He reached me too, man. Yeah. And I remember that day he told me we were at a Bubba's, and he told me that story, and he reached me too, bro. And every time that I think about breaking my sobriety, and I think, fuck it, I'm just gonna go downtown and have a drink, chingue su madre. I think about Rock, and I'm like, if Rock can do it for 14, 15 years, shit, I can do it too, man. And I stop myself from doing it, man. And it's very important to look up to people like that do good things like that.
That have been through the ringer for you.
Ya lo hicieron porque, God damn, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to walk a straight line. But at the end of the day, you think about the consequences and you're like, do I really want to go through all that bullshit? No, I don't. Yeah. It's not worth it.
You got so much to lose now. You know what it is to be in jail. You know what it is to be locked up, tickets, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Driving paranoid.
Oh my God.
I mean,
I don't miss
looking
that.
out the fucking window. Do
you hear him?
Loco.
Hey.
Bien paniqueado.
We're running out. We ran out.
Rock, yo
Sí,
estaba.
no valgo madre.
Yeah, now what? Go get more.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where I'm in my standard car and I'm like and throwing up and shifting over here.
Para,
and
no
that
para.
chingada. Yeah, bro. Like, why get to that point, man? Like, it's not worth
You
it.
should challenge yourself this year to try to wean yourself off of weed, dude. You know what I mean?
Now let me be honest. Like we were talking on the way over here, and I've never been the guy who I never had a problem smoking pot. You know what I mean? I didn't mind doing that. I still don't, but I don't, and I don't because I made a commitment. And you know, me and my wife talk about things. You know what I mean? But the truth is, I made a commitment, and my commitment was, and this is gonna go a little bit into my relationship with Christ, right? Follow the law of the land. It's in the Bible, right? You follow the law of the land. And it took me a long time to understand what that meant. And I've shared this with people many times. But the law of the land, meaning law of the land is foundation. What is your foundation? And the law was God. You know, so what is your foundation with God? Well, truly, your heart is foundation with God. And if you follow the law of the land, what is your foundation with Christ and what did he say? You know what I mean? And that stuck to me. And I struggle. And that's why I don't break my sobriety, not even with mota. You know what I mean? Like, yes, quiero. You know what I mean? Más que la tomadera y el polvo, I truly do want to smoke pot because it never made me want to do anything different. However, I made a commitment, and that commitment was with him. And I still struggle, me and him. We talk, we have conversations. We're like, hey, bro, for real, just a little bit. You know what I mean?
We are all a work in progress.
That's one of those things.
Man.
But it doesn't, I will tell you this. God meets you where you're at. So don't ever think that. But what I'm saying is like a judgment. It's like, hey, man, you do what you do. But one day, you will wean off it.
Yeah.
You will, if that's a choice that you make. And I'm sure if that's the plan he has for you, it'll happen. You know? It's inevitable.
And I believe you in all the sense of the word when you say, you know, when you leave it to God, because I recently got fired. Well, not fired. I got laid off in November, mid-November. And I went through, you know, a lot of, trials and tribulations, trying to find another job because, I mean, you got the holidays coming up and, you're supposed to celebrate Thanksgiving and then, like, you have, you left off without a job and everything. And, what are you thankful for? Well, of course, your family and your well-being. But at the end of the day, you still got to provide. And I just told God, you know what? Nunca le reproché, nunca le dije, ¿por qué? O esto, que otro, whatever, nothing. All I said is, only you know where you want to take me.
Right.
Only you know where you want to take me. And I'm just going to let you do what you want and take me where you want to take me.
Yeah.
And he took me through several obstacles and several hurdles that I had to go through to land to where I'm at. And right now where I'm at, I'm just going to say I'm taken care of.
Awesome.
I'm taken care of. And I told God, I did just like Rock told him, I told God, I was like, this is why it didn't work out over there. And this is why those people over there didn't want to hire me. And this is why those people over there passed out on my interview. Because I was going to land here where they actually take care of me, where they actually acknowledge my hard work, and where they actually, where I'm actually good financially. Mm-hmm. So I told them, thank you, because I knew you had something for me, and God is always there, man. You just got to trust him.
That's
Sometimes,
right.
even in the hardest of your moments and facing adversity with, Christmas around the corner and you have a family you want to give gifts to and have a good time with, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you just want to provide. And God was able to save Christmas for me, man.
Amen.
God saved Christmas for me. Christmas was saved this year. And I give
last year.
Yeah. And I give the praise to God for that, because I put myself in his hands. So I'm with you on that, brother.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Life is, we're a work in progress.
Life is a whirlwind, right?
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, God. I'm going to say that all day. That's all I got to say.
Hey, Rev, I got to say, dude, I like the jam you got with Annika, Traveling Man, because the soulfulness of it.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear the song right now, and we want you on the chat to let us know your thoughts on it. But I really think it's a really cool song. Let's listen to it and check it out. This is Rev Ray out of El Paso, now San Antonio, featuring Annika. It's called Traveling Man. Yeah. Woo! Low and slow.
Been around the world, still feeling empty inside.
Oh my.
Cause the clothes, the girls don't mean a thing in this life. My feet grow weary, cause I'm a traveling man.
Yeah.
Been known to drag my feet across this line. Why can't I just come home? Why can't I be in your arms alone?
Come home, Daddy.
Why such a long, long road?
Oh, wow.
Longest road I've ever been on.
Now.
My baby, how does it feel when traveling alone?
Sobriety, baby.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be alone when traveling alone? How does it feel? I'm sitting here, boy, waiting for you. Waiting for
With my head going crazy, heart so sad, I don't know what to do. My life grows away, cause I don't wanna do this anymore.
That's good, man.
I'm done waiting for this rolling stone. Why can you just come home? Why can't you be in my arms alone? Such a long, long road, the longest road I've ever been on. My baby, how does it feel?
Feels beautiful. That big old smile on Rev, bro. Oh, man. That's fantastic, dude.
Thanks, man.
That's some great stuff, man.
Shout out to Annika, man, too, man. Those
Yeah.
vocals are killer.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. You got that voice in you, man. Wow.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Shelly for, contacting me to bring you guys on the show, man.
Yeah.
I really had a great time with you guys here
That's
tonight.
awesome.
Thank you.
Carmona, man, whatever you need from us, bro, let us know, dude.
Well, I'm looking for 2 actors.
I see.
And an extra?
Should we do it again, Rock? Should we do it again?
Well, this 2 is 1, and that's 2.
Ah, that's true.
And pues tú también, Rev. I mean, good luck with the movie también, carnal, and la música y todo, and whatever you need from us, we're here for you también.
All right,
carnalito.
I do. I need something for y'all.
Okay.
All right. For y'all, we have been nominated for Collaboration of the Year, Annika and I, for Traveling Man at the Premios Tejano Mundial.
Todo, carnal.
So make sure to go out there and vote for that song. Also, Entertainer of the Year.
Okay.
And for all the industry people, y'all know where to go. Go and vote.
Yeah.
Go and vote.
Yeah. Just search Tejano Mundial.
Search TejanoMundial.com
Uh-huh.
and go ahead and do it, man.
Rock, we should have him sing a song for us here live.
I don't know. When you karaoke, what song do you like to do, man?
Whew.
I mean,
What do you want me to sing?
Well,
pull up there.
when you go to the karaoke night, what is the first song
What's your go-to?
the go-to
karaoke
jam,
song?
man? We'll find it here.
All right, let's do Freddie Jackson, You Are My Lady.
Oh, 'cause you are my lady. Man, the other song from Freddie Jackson, what's it called? Rock Me Tonight for old time's sake.
Oh my goodness.
They don't make music like that.
Nah, bro. That's
What we listening to?
Yeah, man. This one right here, man. Okay, but that's not the one he wants to do. Right? Ding, bro. Randy Jackson.
Ando bien ciego yo.
Or no, pues you need you don't know the lyrics off, or do you need some reading glasses because you are 40.
To be honest with you,
we don't just talk about.
I finally hit the bifocals, bro.
Hey, bro,
Oh my god!
What do you think I've got on, dude?
Oh, neta.
These are bifocals.
They really are.
It's a
Well,
thing, bro. You just can't see it now. They don't have the. You can't see the transition.
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
Yeah,
See, so once we reach that age, we start talking about medications
it's
and
real.
bifocals.
And readers.
It's real. I'm
And
just-
readers. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Excited.
I just want people to hear in my ear.
I'm starting to feel that Dr. T's, baby.
Hey, hey.
Hey, there's something that I wanna say, but the words sometimes get in the way. I just wanna show my feelings for you.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I'd rather do than spend every moment with you. I guess you should know I love you so. You are my lady. You're everything I need and more. You are my lady. You're all I'm living for. There's nothing that I can resist. Your precious kiss. Girl, you got me so hypnotized. Woo! Just say that you'll stay with me, 'cause our love was meant to be. Yeah. I promise to love you more each day.
Why?
You are my lady, my love. You're everything I need and more. You are my lady. You're all I'm living for.
Yeah.
You are my lady, my love. You're everything I need and more. You are my lady, and you're all I'm living for.
Let's get a big round of applause, man. Hell yeah.
Bravo.
Awesome.
Man, that takes me back to my club days in the 80s, dude. Johnny Gill, my. Remember that one? Oh, man. It's been a pleasure having you guys on the show, man.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, we want to thank Rody's Country Fried Chicken, Eagle Pass, Texas. You go by Eagle Pass, you got to stop and try some of that finger licking good country fried chicken that he's been doing. This is his 40th year in business, so you don't stay in business for 40 years if you're not doing something right, and Rody's knows how to do it right when it comes to fried chicken. All sides, fish and shrimp, hot dogs, chicken fried steak, they got it. Located 1910 El Indio Highway. We will be in Eagle Pass on the 15th of March. He's going to have a big old party celebrating his 40 years in the business at Rody's Playland, which is right close to the Kickapoo Casino. So we'll be out there with Whiskey D, también the Crazy Pimps, and a whole bunch of other big surprises. Also want to thank Chorizo de HH, H&H Chorizo. Check it out. Every single HEB in the 956 has it. As a matter of fact, this morning I made some breakfast, my specialty.
El
and it's on
chorizo.
my social media. So check out the video on Facebook at Rock and Roll James. Chorizo de HH. Ask for it by name. Great taste. Leaner, than others. Nice kick, not too spicy, doesn't turn into mush. My wife loves it. I love it. We all love it. It's chorizo de HH, man. So thank you so much. All right, so this coming 25th of January, Saturday, January 25th, we have Lou Graham at Payne Arena. I'm sure you guys have heard of Lou Graham, but he's got one of those, remember this tune? I can't wait till he does this song live, man. Singing in the rain, with his head hung low. He couldn't get a ticket.
No.
It was a sold-out show.
Couldn't get a ticket.
Yeah. It was a sold-out show. Yeah, so the 25th, get your tickets. PayneArena.com. Lou Graham, one of the Hall of Famers with Foreigner. He's in the Hall of Fame on his own as Foreigner as well. And Asia is also going to open up, man. Heat of the moment. It's going to be a fantastic event. You got to get your tickets. It's going to be a sold-out show, just like he said in that song right there. PayneArena.com. It's none other than Lou Graham and Asia. And then on Sunday, February 23rd, Whiskey D and Thunderstruck, they're an AC/DC tribute band. We'll be playing in San Benito. We'll have more details, but follow my band at Whiskey D Band. And also follow Rev Ray and follow Carmona, King of the South. And we're looking forward to seeing the series, man, when it comes out, man. Make sure to let us know so we can tell all our audience it's on the show tonight, okay?
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all have a wonderful night. Thank you to Shelly Lattis. Shelly Lattis, thank her.
Shelly.
She's in the background there. She didn't want to come on because she's dressed down. He said, but she looks fabulous to me. I don't know. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You all have a beautiful night.
Bye.
We'll see ya. All right, y'all. Well, you know what? Let me finish off with the Rev Ray song, man. Right? Hell yeah, man. All right. So, ándale. Así terminamos a toda madre. Yeah.
Make sure y'all check out the album Ritmos y Raíces on all social media platforms. Rev Ray Music, man. Go out there. Appreciate all y'all. Thank you, Rock and Roll James. Thank you, Jex. Check out the merch, man.
Nice.
Love y'all. Kika de South Carmona. Shelly. Love you, girl.
Asústame one time. Everybody wave.
Bye.